welcome back to Big Brave Business, the YouTube channel.
Hi, I'm so happy that we are back this week with our awesome guest. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Well, hi everyone. I'm Xavier. I'm the founder of the podcast space. I'm what you may call a marketeer for podcasters. I love looking at content strategy and how to make the content more visible for the online space.
Super fun. Are you excited and ready for your rapid fire questions?
I guess the only answer is yes.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to give you an easy one to start off with. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Gosh, that is like not the quick one because when I was a kid, I wanted to be different things every single day of the week. So Mondays was like a policeman. Tuesdays would be like a gymnast. Thursdays would be like a vet. And so, like another day would be it just shows that I'm a creative at heart and I'm a multi-passionate. So there was never a one thing. But when I was 18, I was like, I want to be a journalist. I want to communicate.
And
I love it.
Basically are. I think that shows that you were a kid with a big imagination, and also you still see that show up in what you do today. So what is your favorite color and how does it make you feel?
Oh gosh. My favorite color actually is black. Just for aesthetics, because I'm a really bright person. I feel like it transitioned into yellow and that became actually the color of my business. So I just like yellow because it symbolizes happiness and positivity.
Yeah.
I love it. What is the most recent podcast you listened to?
Oh, Nick Redman. She's a voiceover actor based in the UK. She's so fun. She makes vocal health and just voice work so much fun. So that's my personal recommendations.
Oh, good.
That's a good one. Okay. How many hours do you work in a week?
Too many. I say too many, but like in comparison, I'm originally from Portugal. And I think that comparison with Americans, there's so many people that work really long hours. So I'd say probably I work maybe like 40, 50 hours a week, which to me is like really intense. But yeah, more like 50.
Sounds like plenty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like you're an entrepreneur for what? To work more. Unfortunately, it's not like live life and vacation. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. What is one habit that keeps you productive?
Keeping my Alexa doing the Pomodoro technique, which is like, hey, Alexa, put like 10 minutes on a timer. And I'm like hammering down the keyboard while listening to like Spotify. There's this playlist that is like beta waves. So apparently there's this like frequency that actually gets you focused and gets you to work like either just in more focus mode or just to work more intensely. So that's my tip.
I need that list. I need that list of that Spotify.
Yeah. What are some of your core values in business or in life?
Do things ethically, even if that means that I don't get the business or I don't get the benefits. That's something that I looked at always, like when I moved into entrepreneurship. I always knew that I would be working in the podcast world long term. So a lot of times I say, hey, we're not a good fit, but here's someone else who will be a good fit. So I try to collaborate with people as much as I can because I know that like I don't need to get all the business right now. Sometimes people are not ready and sometimes people are not ready for me. Like we're not a good fit. So I think that has been like one of the main things. I'm always like thinking, how can I help others? And those are like two intertwined in my life.
I love that. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Happy, chatty, and cheerleader.
Oh, those
Those
are
are
good.
good.
Those are
That's
good.
very positive vibes. What are you most insecure about when it comes to posting videos of yourself online?
My eyes. So I actually have strabismus, which is like commonly known as being cross-eyed. And that was one of my main issues when I first launched my business. And that was one of the reasons why I actually forced myself into not worrying about that because I was like, what does matter is my message. I want to help people. And so I actually started doing a short video, like Instagram stories, like content that would expire, and getting myself comfortable talking to the camera. And that became like less of a worry. So now it's actually not when I'm doing video, but more when I'm taking photos, because I'm super self-aware of that. So that has been one of the things that I actually talk about a lot. Like it was and it still is an insecurity, but I don't let that stop me from doing anything. I'm like, whatever. Like, if the one person, no one has, by the way, comments like, oh, where is that one eye going at? I'm like, well, you missed the whole point, which is the content that I was talking about was something else. So yeah.
I have watched a whole lot of videos of you, and I
idea.
have never, it's never even popped into my head. So, no, it's definitely, it's not weird about our insecurities. Like,
It's random.
it's so much more in us than it is in anybody else.
And just about how showing up confidently, like you don't even realize, as long as you're like coming in confidently and open, and you're open and authentic to yourself, like it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's incredible. If you could donate $100,000 to any cause or charitable organization, where would you donate it? We will allow you to split it up if you need to.
Okay. Probably anything climate related. I love gardening. And so I think that like it wouldn't be definitely planting trees, because planting trees is nothing. So actually like something that would like implement proper change, like in pollution. That's probably what I would do. And that whole money can go. I don't think I'm
All of
going to
it.
split it. It's fine.
We have not gotten that answer yet. You're the first
Yeah.
one. That's a good one. If you could snap your fingers and transport yourself anywhere else in the world right now, where would you go?
If I would transport myself anywhere in the world, I think I would really like to go to Japan. Every single friend I have is going to Japan or has gone in the last 6 months. So I'm like, what is up? I do want to go. Just the culture is so different. I think it would be really fun.
For sure. When something amazing happens, who is your first phone call?
My husband, for sure. Yeah.
What is one of your biggest pet peeves?
I'm gonna try to answer that in a very polite way and positive outcome. So one of my biggest pet peeves, and it comes like kind of really against what I really believe, right? So it's when people come to you trying to pretend they're big shots, and they completely just pretty much putting no value in where you are. Like, I truly believe that we can be there, we can be everybody else's champion, and we don't have to pretend. Like, we can be ourselves, and it's safe for us to be ourselves. And there's nothing worse when you go to an event and you're talking to people, and the first thing that comes out of someone's mouth is like them trying to pretend they're a big shot, and it's like no big deal. Like, it makes everyone else feel like crap. So to me, it's like, hey, like, we're all humans, we're all amazing, so stop pretending you're better than everybody else, because I feel it's rooted in insecurity, but it helps no one. And there's this idea that like, oh, everybody should be like making an X amount of money and like be like these big shot. Like, you can do amazing things and not brag about it. You can just like be there for everybody else. So that's my biggest
true.
pet peeve.
Yeah.
Yes. Amen. What is your go-to Starbucks order?
I do not go to Starbucks. Rarely
Okay.
go. So I prefer going, and I actually worked in coffee shops when I lived in London. And so I worked in really amazing coffee shops that were like owned by Australian people, and Australians are known for their dedication for coffee. And so whenever I go to Starbucks, I'm like, this is like maybe just dessert. I did go last week, but like I don't like the taste of coffee, so I'm like, sorry, I'm snobbish a
Me
little.
neither.
But yeah, I don't have it to go. But hey, like it's sometimes at the airport, it's the only place you can go. So
It's true. Yeah. What advice do you have for someone just starting out in entrepreneurship?
ask for help. Stop trying to do it all by yourself. I'm originally from Portugal, and people are a lot more collaborative. And here in the US, there's that narrative of like the hero that can do everything by themselves. Like you see this a lot in movies, and like you can do something, and you can burn bridges, and you can burn yourself out, and you can just disconnect yourself from everybody when you don't have to. You literally can ask for help, and you can collaborate with other people, and you will get there faster. And you will feel more excited for the journey because you're with someone else, rather than just, doing the whole journey. Like, it's trial and error, especially if you have no idea what you're doing. Like, why? So just be more collaborative. Can I ask y'all as well back, or is it just the focus on me? Because I'm curious on y'all's thoughts.
We do have our first 2 videos were us asking each other the questions, so you can definitely go back and review that.
Okay.
But also we can just be friends and you can ask us stuff anytime you want.
Because
I'm
curious.
about you.
I'm curious about y'all too. Like, what was the one thing you would say to like yourself, like back in the day when you first started, actually?
I think I want you to go first. No, I want you to go first.
I think the main thing I would say to myself when I was first starting out is like, this is gonna work, because I didn't really, like, I knew what I was capable of, but I had no idea I would be sitting here I started my business 4 years ago, and I had no idea 4 years ago I would be sitting in where I am today. Like, I've shared before on YouTube that, like, I always say my proudest moment in business is every time I pay my bills, knowing that, like, that's money that I created from a business I started in my pajamas in the corner of my bedroom. Like, literally, my husband works in my business now, so like our entire income is based on our entrepreneurial revenue, right? So that's really surreal. And so if I could tell myself when I was just starting out, like, it is gonna work, that's what I would say.
Yes.
It is gonna work.
I love that.
I still need that advice sometimes.
That's beautiful. I think I have always had this I don't know where it comes from, this unwavering confidence that it's all gonna work out, like it's gonna be fine. I think it's because I've gone through so much in my life and like had to pick myself up so many times that I just automatically assume it's gonna work its way out. Even if it's when I started my business, now it's been almost 3 years now, I don't think I ever thought like, oh my God, is this going to work? I just thought like, we're going to give this the season of my life that I want to give it, and we're going to see if it works out. I'm going to give it my best effort, and if it does, great. If it doesn't, fine. I think for me, and I do not know where that confidence comes from. I do not know where it comes from. But I also think if I could tell myself something back then, I think it would be like, the way the business looks now is going to change 1,000 times in the next 3 years. Like, Sarah knows this. My business has changed 100 different times, and the way it's structured, and the clients that I work with, and the work that I accept, like, has changed 100 times for me to find my footing, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to like walk in knowing exactly what you're gonna do. It's gonna be okay that it's gonna change, and just like anything, it's gonna have its own seasons. So
nice. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. Sorry, I hijacked your own show.
No, it's great. I love chatting. This is one of my personal favorite questions. What is your best tip for marriage or relationships?
This is probably going to be something that everybody has talked already, but really my tip would be communicate, because this is the situation for my husband and I. There are people who are like, my husband or my partner is my best friend, and we know each other's thoughts, and we can read each other's minds. That is absolutely not the case for my husband and I. He's like neurotypical. I'm neurodivergent. And so basically, like, I'm thinking a gazillion things at the same time, and he's like A, B, C. And sometimes the thing that I'm thinking about, it's absolutely not what he like heard. And so yeah, that would say like really communicate and like make an effort, like, did you get what I meant? Like, say that back to me. That would say is probably important.
Say that back to me is really good advice, I think, in all relationships, because it just gives you so much insight into what the, like you said, what the person actually heard you say. Where do you consider home?
As someone who's originally from Portugal, moved to London, and now is living in Dallas, Texas, I don't really gonna go for the traditional home is where you make it, because like I go back home, to Portugal, and I'm like, I do not feel like I'm identifying with any of this anymore. And I go back to London as I did this summer, and I'm like, things have changed. And here, there's always parts of me that I'm like, especially culturally, I'm like, I don't understand. What is this thing? And I feel like I'm like literally a foreigner everywhere I've lived, literally. And so I think like you can make home in a lot of different ways. So that's what I would say.
Beautiful. Well, we will end this wonderful interview. You've given us so many great sound bites and interesting tidbits. Last question for you is, when did you first feel successful in your business?
To give you a succinct answer, I feel like to me, getting asked to be a speaker at events or to get like invitations to be part of projects that back in the beginning when I first launched the podcast space, I never dreamt that I would be a part of. So that has been like one of the most exciting things. And finishing that up with just saying that all of this has happened because I dared to ask. And a lot of people don't realize how many opportunities come from just the ask. Like, don't wait for things to come. Like, ask for the things, speed up the process by having the courage to go forth.
That's beautiful.
That's amazing advice. So you did it. You did the rapid fire questions, and hopefully it was fun. We had a great time getting to know you. If you want to connect with Anna and the podcast space, you can find all her information in the description box down below. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, what are you doing? You should subscribe right now and hit the bell for notifications every time we release a new video on Wednesdays. We also have a podcast, which is totally separate content. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find me and Amanda having big, brave conversations about business. So we'll see you in all the places, doing all the things, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.